Okay, we're live. We are live. Hopefully it's not lagging because my MacBook has decided this week that it wants to start slowing down for me, which we don't want that. We don't want that at all. But anyway, let's see what we've got. Let's see what we have got. Lots to go through, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to go through. And I think this is the first time that we've had the top fans feature on a YouTube live stream as well. You just watched my latest video. It's Monday, mate. You know, I was thinking, like, do I do another video? But then it's kind of saying the same things. So I think we'll wait for Tuesday morning for a new video. So I thought I would try and get you guys' feelings on what's going on right now, because there's been a lot of developments today. We've heard some interesting stories regarding Chelsea being interested in other players, not only Xavi Simons. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Just wait for a few more people to get in. Absolutely love your content. Love all your videos. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. How are you all doing? Where are you watching from in the world right now? Fabrizio just posted on Instagram. Yeah, we're going to go through everything. We're going to go through all the latest on Xavi Simons, the latest on Renato Veiga, and also anyone else that Chelsea are bloody interested in. Cracking last video. Appreciate it, mate. Wait, what else we got then? What else we got? Cucurella needs a backup. Absolutely he does. Absolutely he does. Watching from the North Pole, says Harvey Clark, #1 fan right now. I don't know how this #1 fan thing works, but it's quite cool. I guess it means the more you engage, the more you get a little flipping hat next to your name. Don't know. Some people might love that. I personally like it. Why not? But I'll let a few more people join in a couple more minutes. Then we will crack on with going through the latest, because there is a lot that we can talk about here, and we're going to build some formations too, just to see what we can do, because Xavi Simons gives us a lot of options in terms of variance with the way that we play. And if I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading the chat, okay? If I'm looking at the lens of the camera, it means I've got something serious to say. Not that what you guys are saying aren't serious. It's obviously serious, but Magic Mike in, and I think that ship has sailed, mate. I think as much as I'm happy that we're clearly talking about attackers, strikers, wingers, 10s, all of that stuff, still do think there's going to be a point that we look at the goalkeeping situation in the season and been like, bloody hell, man, that slipped through our fingers. I hope not. I hope there's nothing slipping through anyone's fingers. I hope that Robert Sanchez can stop being the player that has made the most mistakes leading to goals, right? The stats don't lie. But I'm backing him right now. I think he's grown. I think he did very well in that final. That was the best Robert Sanchez performance that I've seen. And after winning that trophy, winning 2 trophies, should I say, any player who I was questioning has got another chance from me. So Sanchez fits that mold as well. Thank you, David, for the donation. Up the Chelsea. Thanks for the midday live. Yeah, I was umming and ahhing, like, do we do another video? I'm like, nah, I've already uploaded 2 videos today. So if I go live, then people can watch it as a video. And we can do timestamps and stuff afterwards. So, all right, we have got nearly 700 people in here already in less than 5 minutes. So shout out to all of you. Let me know in the chat, where are you watching from right now? I want to know where you guys are from. And then we will go through the latest news on Xavi Simons, because there's big updates, big updates. I told you guys it was going to be a busy week this week. Watching from England, Glasgow, Ecuador, Chicago, Stockholm, Singapore, Jamaica, Surrey, UK, Russia, Illinois, Glasgow. Lots of people from Scotland today. South Africa, Seoul, Mexico, New York, Victoria Bay, South Africa. Nigeria, lots of Nigerian flags, lots of Ghanaian flags in there. Dubai, Utah, Nigeria. I'm not in Dubai yet, by the way, for those of you asking. Surrey, UK, lots of Surrey. Cobham, Surrey, or somewhere else? I used to live in... that's funny, actually. I swear someone just said Walton. That's where I used to live years ago. Orlando, Florida. Big up to Orlando. It was very hot over the weekend in Florida, no? Benson is massive, mate. Honestly. I think people didn't realise how tall I was until I posted photos next to some of the Chelsea players that people just think automatically are tall. Philadelphia. Big up to Philly. Was there 3 times. Plenty of cancelled flights, delayed flights, but good Philly cheesesteaks and some decent football. Okay, Kenya, Zambia, Mississippi, Philadelphia. Lots of Philadelphia. Yeah, we got loads of you from all over the flipping gaff right now. So... let me just double check, because I'm working on one screen right now. I don't have a second screen, so I've just got to make sure when I open these things, we're on the right thing. So if I screen capture, perfect. Okay, that will do for now, right? So we're going to go through the Chelsea news here on Xavi Simons, first of all, and then we're going to give thoughts and everything else about it. Thank you, Carson, for the donation as well. Why have Chelsea fans forgotten about Conor Gallagher? No one's forgotten about Gallagher. But he doesn't play for us anymore, so we don't really talk about him. All right. Let's you can stop with the Myanmar spam. I think I can see that you're from there, mate. Let's try and keep the chat nice and clean. Have I got any mods in here right now? Because there's a hell of a lot of spam happening right now. Give me a second. Let me just... this guy doesn't seem to get the message right now. I get it, bro. You're from Myanmar. You're very proud. I'm just going to time him out for 10 minutes. Yeah, if there's any mods in the chat, please do try and keep it moderated. I know that I ask you guys where you're from and everything, but I don't need 100 messages per person for the same thing. All right, so without any further ado, let's get back into the meat and potatoes of it, shall we? Chelsea, latest news. Thank you again for that donation that just came in. You are now the top fan chatter, apparently. Anyway, Xavi Simons has opened doors to Chelsea move after direct contact with his camp. Club-to-club talks will start from Tuesday as Chelsea Leipzig will discuss deal conditions. For CFC, deal depends on outgoings. Arsenal remain also keen, but Gyökeres and outgoings priority. So obviously there's a lot to delve into here. What we know at the moment is that Xavi Simons has been contacted by Chelsea. Xavi Simons has said, I would be interested to join Chelsea. That's what we can decipher from the top bit. Second bit, club-to-club talks will start from Tuesday. So obviously, Chelsea will be seeing if they are even capable of offering Xavi Simons something that Simons likes the sound of, which looks to me as though that hurdle is already passed. Xavi Simons would be open to join Chelsea. But then it's about the deal with Leipzig. What is the price going to be? We've seen a lot of different talks today. People have said it could be as low as 50 million. I think that was Florian Plettenberg speaking to Sky. Then Fabrizio and quite a few other journalists as well have said that it could be more towards 70 million euros, which is about 65 million quid. Now, obviously, there's a big difference between 50 and 70. Don't need to bore you guys with that math. It's quite obvious. 20 million euros is no joke. But I will say 50 million seems like a massive bargain. And I would say that would be underpaying for a player, right? Especially at the moment where there's so many conversations that are happening about the price of players and all of that stuff. I think 45 million quid would be very low. But at the same time, I think we've also just got to think here as well that where is Xavi Simons exactly going to play in the Chelsea starting 11? So let's bring that tweet back up again and then look at the bottom bit here. CFC deal depends on outgoings. This also tells me that very early doors this week, we could see some exits, whether that is Nkunku, Joao Felix, Nicholas Jackson. With Nicholas Jackson, I think the price, like 80 to 100 million pounds, it's mad, but fair enough. Having looked at what Hugo Ekitike's just gone to Liverpool for, Chelsea are quite within their rights, especially when we've got Delap and Pedro, but is that enough? I'm not convinced we should be selling Jackson. I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of you guys have said in the chat and in the comments over the course of the last few days that you want Jackson to go. But I'm really not convinced by selling Jackson. I'm not going to lie. So those outgoings, Chelsea are obviously looking to offload Joao Felix. That's a no-brainer. We've known that since flipping January, since we loaned him to AC Milan. That was never going to work. That was a poor piece of business, and I think the club know it too. Christopher Nkunku is another name that he had a good Club World Cup. I was so surprised that we even bothered bringing him, to be quite honest. But in the end, he was incredibly useful. He even started, I think, the quarterfinal against Palmeiras, played very well in that game too. So at this moment in time, what are we going to hear when it comes to this deal tomorrow for Chelsea? Is it going to be one of those where the conversation is, well, we can't buy him right now, but can we get like a pre-agreement in place so that when we have these sales go through, we're going to go ahead and sanction this move? Leipzig know that Xavi Simons wants to leave. He's got 2 years left on his contract. This is the last summer where they can command a pretty solid, decent fee for him. So I don't think there's going to be anything stopping Xavi Simons leaving. But I want to know what you guys think about this here as well, because 70 million euros for a player who might not be starting. I've got a feeling he would be. I think Xavi Simons might start more games than Gittins. But I think what we see here with Xavi Simons starting is definitely a player that would be preferred on the left-hand side of that attacking midfield. And then you've got Estevao Neto on the right. So I think that would basically cement Pedro Neto as a right winger with Gittins and Xavi Simons on the left. Now, I'm seeing a lot of you guys in the chat right now talking still about Morgan Rogers. I don't think Morgan Rogers would start for Chelsea yet either. And I think that's, as much as I love Morgan Rogers, you guys know this, I love Rogers as a footballer. He's probably my favourite Premier League player outside of Chelsea. But I think that he would also struggle to get into the starting 11 too. Xavi Simons, I think, is better operating on the left wing than Rogers. And Rogers would be, again, an expensive luxury for Chelsea to be able to try and fit him and Palmer in the same team. And I think at the moment, I think we hit a winning formula. We clearly hit a winning formula by beating PSG. But even the Fluminense game too, and we're going to go into some potential lineups and stuff in a bit. But we'll get into the Yildiz news soon. But for now, let's delve back into all of the latest regarding Xavi Simons. I have to keep checking to make sure that you guys can still see. So you can. Let's go through and have a little look at this. So apparently, I don't know if this is true. I haven't checked this. But Xavi Simons does follow Caicedo, Liam Delap and Andre Santos. Let me actually check and see if this is true, because I followed Xavi Simons today myself. So let me see if that's actually accurate. So he follows, he's actually more than that. So he follows Levi Colwill too. He follows Colwill, Lavia, Delap, Santos and Caicedo. He also follows Madueke, which could just be a little spanner in the works, to be fair, as Arsenal are also linked to him. But Fabrizio's also posted 14 minutes ago on his Instagram very similar things to what he posted on Twitter, but the bottom part of the Instagram says, for Chelsea, this deal depends on outgoings, as in Nkunku, Felix, Sterling, Nico can all leave soon. So Nicholas Jackson's going to go, guys. It really looks like he's going to go. Arsenal remain also very keen on Xavi Simons, but Gyökeres and outgoings remain the priority now. So yeah, let's keep going through all of this latest here. Florian Plettenberg an hour ago. Further talks between Chelsea and Xavi Simons' camp are taking place this evening. CFC are concretely in and are working on reaching a verbal agreement. Leipzig are ready to sell him. Leipzig want at least 70 million all in, while Chelsea want to pay less. If a move to Chelsea does not work out, other teams are waiting in the wings. It does make you think, right? Like, are Chelsea, does the budget that we have not exceed 70 million? Or is that just we won't pay more than 70 million for Xavi Simons, which I think is correct. I think he's, in my head, right, and I know I said 45 million quid is very low, because it is very low. I think Xavi Simons is a 55, 60 million pound player. So if we're paying more than that for a player that only has 2 years left on his deal and doesn't want to sign a new deal, then I think we're overpaying. So I can understand Chelsea's position here. 70 million euros. I'm seeing you guys are saying that his market value is 70 million. What are we saying? Let me see what you guys think about this. Let me ask you on a poll. Let me put a poll out. Should we, and I want you to focus on the price. Focus on the price. Should we sign Xavi Simons for 70 million euros? Yes or no? So I can't see the chat constantly. I'm going to actually get my chat up on my phone, but I also quite like reading the news on my phone. Screw it. We're going to watch my own live stream. 60 million pounds. So let me know your thoughts. Is 70 million 60 million quid? Is it really? I thought it was like 65. Let me double check. Oh wow, it's 60 million pounds. Okay, that's my maths is completely wrong. So 50 million euros would be an absolute steal then, wouldn't it really? 50 million euros is 43.5 million pounds. That's mad. That is absolutely mad. Let me see what the poll is saying early doors. 50-50. Yo, you guys, mad. Absolutely mad. You prefer Yildiz. Don't worry, we're going to talk about Yildiz soon. Sterling to the MLS. Well, the problem is, who's going to pay him the wages that he wants? 60 mil is honourable, says Williams. I feel like that's a pretty fair and accurate thing to say. So let's go back now into the latest so that we've got all of the sources covered. Chelsea proceeding with Xavi Simons talks this week with a deal possible for 70 million or under. Leipzig paid 50 million fixed, but not all the 30 million add-ons have been paid, allowing for a cheaper package. As revealed, PSG retain a sell-on. Arsenal also keen on Simons, but Chelsea first to make club-to-club contact. I think Chelsea know that Arsenal are going to be interested in this deal. And I also think it's interesting here because Xavi Simons from PSG, like everyone thought he was going to explode at PSG, but I don't think anyone can question the talent ID and Luis Enrique's brutal nature of how he's picked and chosen who he wants to have feature in that Paris Saint-Germain side. So I don't think it means he's a bad player if he was kind of not wanted at PSG. But the price, 50 million fixed and then 30 million in add-ons. So that was an 80 million euro deal. And then I wonder what those add-ons were. Does anybody know what the add-ons were when he signed for Leipzig? Because that would obviously make a big difference as to whether or not it's entirely his individual performance-related stuff that stopped him from actually hitting that. So right now the poll is 56% are saying yes to sign Xavi Simons for 70 million. If you said no, let me know why in the comments. Yildiz is way more talented. Okay, I've got to say this again because I know a lot of people know that when we were talking about wingers at the beginning of June, I wasn't convinced by Yildiz, but I'll be honest. It's because I hadn't seen him play enough. When I watched him for Juventus in the Club World Cup, I'm like, what the hell is this player? What a footballer. He was unbelievable. So I think in terms of like that excitement, Yildiz gets you off your seat. I think, again, he's a bit more of like an out-and-out left-sided player. So we'll talk about him in a moment. But let's get back in to the news. See if we've got any more stuff here on Xavi Simons. Wow, if some reports turn out to be true, this could be the Chelsea under-23 attacking options for 25-26. Palmer, Pedro, Delap, Simons, Gittins, Tyreek George, Estevao. That is a very good list of footballers there at an incredibly young age. Xavi Simons obviously only 22 years old. Here, someone's made a potential Chelsea 11. I think it's I think that's probably up there. Let's put Cole Palmer off the right. It's actually so exciting, isn't it? A couple of videos there, probably gonna end up getting demonetized if we grab those. Let's have a look at CFC Pius' Twitter here. Xavi Simons is Chelsea's next big target in the market. Simons is interested in Chelsea's project in the next few days. Talks between clubs on the price tag. I think this is heating up, you know. I think, what's it going to say? What's his name? what's his bloody name? Fabrizio Romano has just been saying this on DAZN right now. So it looks to me as though Chelsea are very much there for Xavi Simons in the transfer market this summer. Let's move back into some more news here. The name of Nicholas Jackson is really tempting Manchester United, and they could offer Chelsea Alejandro Garnacho in a swap deal. Internal talks ongoing to decide what they want to do. Chelsea have put an £80 million valuation on Nicholas Jackson. Jackson has rejected Napoli and AC Milan. Villa have asked to be kept informed, and a project like Manchester United could be of interest to him. And then here, obviously, we're talking about Chelsea in talks with super agent Ali Barrett. And of course, as I've said on the channel a couple of times, Ali Barrett is also the guy who brokered the deal for Moises Caicedo to Chelsea, working directly in that one with Bedad Egbali, apparently. So, 61% of you are saying yes to Xavi Simons. Make sure you guys do get involved in that poll, and let's try and get as conclusive of an answer as we possibly can. This is interesting, because if Man United do go for Nicholas Jackson over the course of the next couple of days, then that absolutely frees up a lot of finances for Chelsea. Xavi Simons highlights have just come out from the Leipzig friendly game a couple of days ago. It could be interesting to go through, to be fair. Nkunku, Felix, Sterling are all leaving Chelsea. Nkunku is still leaving. Wow, there is a lot of news today, guys. A hell of a lot of news. Fabrizio Romano has literally just said that. Nkunku, well, Pice has tweeted it. Nkunku, Felix, Sterling all leaving Chelsea. Wow. Wow. The question is, are we going to find buyers for these players? That's the mad bit. So let's also move now into some more news here regarding Chelsea's sale of Renato Veiga. This is the update from 5 hours ago. Understand Renato Veiga said yes to Atletico Madrid. No issues on personal terms. Atletico and Chelsea remain in direct talks for Veiga, as reported over the weekend. The most recent update is this. Renato Veiga has almost agreed personal terms with Atletico and is keen on the move. Depends on the agreement with Chelsea. If a move to Atletico does not work out, other teams are in the mix. Atletico have been in for Veiga for days and have placed him high on their shortlist. So I think I saw somewhere, I can't remember which source it was from now, but I believe Atletico Madrid have made the fee up to about 35 million euros. Chelsea want 40 million for Renato Veiga, and that is for an all-in package of 40 million. But like, let me check that out. 40 million euros in pounds is 34.6 million quid. That is actually unreal business. If Chelsea are able to get a deal like that for Renato Veiga, then that is absolutely sensational. More than reasonable. Yeah, no, I like Renato Veiga. I think I've made that pretty clear on the channel. But if £35 million is on the table, then that would be a fantastic move. Seeing a lot of people on the timeline are talking about how Joao Felix is still a better player. God, I don't understand, man. How you can't look at Joao Felix and think that this guy has just been a problem for like virtually every team he's been at. And he seems like, I say a problem in the sense of like he's some troublesome child. It's not like that. I think Joao Felix is obviously a nice, good guy. Like I think a lot of the players really like him. But in terms of like fitting him into a football team, it just doesn't work out. You know, I actually think the main reason this Xavi Simons thing's going to come in is because of the Ali Barrett link. I think it's going to make communication pretty straightforward for Chelsea. So I'm just going to stay and read the chat with you guys for a little bit here. Sign Mark Guehi. I still think Chelsea could end up going in for Mark Guehi in this window. I would not be surprised in the slightest. There's 1,600 of you in here on a transfer stream. Mental. So apparently also 5 hours ago, it was a £30 million bid that Atletico Madrid made, which makes sense. Chelsea wanting £35 million. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But anyway, Let's also move now and have a look at the Kenan Yildiz story, because I think the Xavi Simons thing is definitely not a foregone conclusion. If I was to make a prediction right now, based on what we're hearing and how quickly this is kind of sped up on Monday, I do think Chelsea will end up signing Xavi Simons. That's my prediction as of right now. But also, Chelsea have had Kenan Yildiz on our winger shortlist since April. And this is Simon Phillips from his website back. I think this is from the 2nd of June, where he's talking about Nico Williams. Sky Cavet, who again, make of Sky as a source, whatever you will. But some of the players Chelsea are currently looking at: Xavi Simons, Garnacho, Morgan Rogers, and Kenan Yildiz. I mean, I think Kenan Yildiz is a very exciting player. And to be fair, I've got to say it again. Before the Club World Cup, I hadn't watched enough of him playing. I hadn't seen what I saw at the Club World Cup, which absolutely suggests to me that we would have a serious young baller on our hands if Yildiz was to join. Hi, George. Pleasure listening. I'm a part-time owner of a professional football club in Poland and a big fan of the channel. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Very much appreciated. So it's only really Sky at this point, if we keep a look here. Chelsea will use Hugo Ekitike's £79 million deal as a benchmark if Jackson is to leave. We kind of knew that already. Simons, Garnacho, Rogers, Yildiz, some of the players Chelsea are looking at. It's only really Sky saying this, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but when was the last time Sky really got anything correct when it comes to being some of the first ones to break transfer stories and transfer news? But I think Kenan Yildiz is a player that a lot of people in the fan base would be very, very happy with. You are the most reliable Chelsea news. Thank you. I mean, I don't think so. Like, the only thing that you can rely on is over the summer I will post lots of content, because it's difficult. Because like even today, I posted 2 videos already today on the channel, and the news is already kind of outdated. So I prefer to just keep uploading. That's why I'm doing this stream, because I didn't want to do a third video because it's already, 8 p.m? But we will definitely give a very strong update for Tuesday morning, because I think there's a lot that's going to happen in the next few hours. Palmer news. Ballon d'Or contention, mate. Probably the best in the world. Say what you like. I don't really know what else there is to it, really. I don't know what else there is to it. Cole Palmer is Cole Palmer, mate. That's it. It's as simple as that. But to be honest, the Kenan Yildiz stuff, I don't want to overhype it, because I just don't trust Sky as a great source of information these days. To be fair, let's take a little look at Xavi Simons' stats. Let's move this over. Let's go to the old trusted FB ref source from last season. Xavi Simons, 25 games in the Bundesliga, 10 goals, 6 assists. You can see here the wages, pretty high already, 115,000 per week. 10 goals, 6 assists, so that's 16 contributions in 25 Bundesliga games. Outperforming his XG significantly by almost double. Shot creating actions, 108. Goal creating actions, 12. Champions League, no goals or assists, but Leipzig struggled. Let's have a look against attacking midfielders and wingers. Top stats are progressive passes, shot creating actions, clearances, also doing a lot of good defensive work for Leipzig, which I think is important in a Maresca system, that everyone kind of dips in and out of different roles in the field. Aerials one. This is something that a lot of you guys picked up on in the comments of my video that I posted this morning, because he's not exactly the tallest player, but I do think it's an underrated statistic that we're seeing here. Let's also compare him to midfielders, because I mean, this guy is an attacking midfielder for sure, but progressive carries, if we're going to operate him a little bit deeper in the pitch, then we're looking at someone that's going to drive us into the final third incredibly well. Progressive passes received, obviously he's playing a lot more advanced, so he does receive more. Shot totals, very, very good as a midfielder. Shot creating actions, also very high. Successful take-ons too for a midfielder, high. So I think this is, if you look at both of these comparative stats here between attacking midfielders and also midfielders as a whole, you can see that Xavi Simons is very much an all-rounder when it comes to what he can do. Does he get paid to be suspended? You're talking about Mudryk. I don't actually know. I'm going to say yes for right now, but I'm sure there's got to be some kind of legal settlement that will happen there. So, let's have a little look at the old tactical board, shall we? Let me see if this is... Let's move this into the right place. Make this a little bit better size. And then, 1 second, guys. I'm just going to quickly change the size of our camera here so that it's not obnoxiously in the way. Right. That's a little bit better, isn't it? And then if I move that there. All right. I think that'll do. That'll do. You want to do stat comparison? I mean, I did that this morning. There's already a video out on the channel where we compare his stats. And Joao Felix, there's no point doing the stat comparison with Joao Felix because Joao Felix didn't play. This Club World Cup is literally like a flipping giant flask. I mean, I'll ask you guys what you prefer actually, because this is a stream where you kind of dictate what we talk about too. Do you want me to do some tactical things now, or would we rather we kept looking at the news? Because there is more news here. There is more news. The offer. Let me get up this tweet on my phone, and then I'll read it out. So, the latest is Xavi Simons' fee is expected to be lower than the reports of 60 million quid. And we know what Chelsea are like. I mean, yes, sometimes we do overpay, but also, I would be I would not be surprised if we could strike a bargain here. He's definitely within... Okay, you want news. Okay, I see you. Just put in the comments tactics, news, or whatever you want to do. We can keep going through the news if you want. Enjoying your videos all the way from Ghana. Thank you very much. Why are people chatting about Yildiz when it's obvious that it's waffle? I mean, maybe it is waffle. That's also why I spoke about it for about 90 seconds of a 33-minute stream. Both. Okay, we'll do both. We'll talk about news for a little bit. We'll keep on the news for now. Let me just grab this. So apparently Aston Villa have asked to be informed if Nicholas Jackson becomes available. I'm going to put this up on the screen too, you know. Make sure that this goes to the right place. Gianluigi Donnarumma rejects another PSG contract. The 26-year-old is refusing any salary reduction and will not accept performance-related bonuses. Well, if that's the case, we can rule him out ever going to Chelsea because I don't think we'd ever offer him anything close to that. That was actually so funny and so predictable, wasn't it? That we were linked to flipping Donnarumma the day of or the day before the final. So typical. Bob, thank you very much for the $10, mate. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chats, guys. Thank you very much. Big up, Bob. Appreciate it, mate. Your first one on the stream. How can you have the new jersey? If you guys do want to buy the new kit, I do have a GBFC10 discount code. There is a link in the description. You must click it through the link. But yeah, that works for anything at the Megastore, by the way. So if you want to buy like retro t-shirts or training kits and stuff, the discount code isn't just for the shirts, for the home kit and the away kit. It's for everything at the Chelsea Megastore online. And obviously, yes, I do get a little cut of that to me. Just to keep things transparent here. Yeah, Chelsea pushing talks to start tomorrow. Whatever happened to our interest in Emi Martinez? I think dude, why is this guy spamming? If any mods in the chat, please just get rid of these guys spamming. Like, it's just annoying. It's just so unnecessary. Put him in timeout for half an hour. Sorry, pal. Oh, dear. Yes, that's an interesting point, to be fair. I do think Chelsea winning this Club World Cup will have a huge benefit on players wanting to join us. Yeah, you can use the code as many times as you want. It doesn't have to be one time. Thoughts about the Jackson-Garnacho swap potential? Man United would be getting a better player. Chelsea would be getting more money. And Garnacho, I think, is just a problem. Genuinely, I can't get my head around the idea that he's going to just all of a sudden buck up his ways and not be an issue. And we got a good little environment going on right now. People are happy. Players are happy at Chelsea right now. Mr. Jennings, hello, mate. I will see you very soon, sir. Very soon indeed. All right, let me keep going through because I feel like this was the right time to stream. I was literally thinking, do I record a video? And then it would have been the classic flipping summer news moment that I'd have started recording a video and then by the time I finished the video, that news is outdated. Seeing a lot of people on the timeline getting very excited about this Xavi Simons stuff. I'm also seeing Manchester United welcome Bryan Mbeumo to the club. I do think that's a good signing for them. Although the rest of their team is still shocking. But the question is, will they go for Nicholas Jackson? 80 million quid. I can't believe we're living in a world where Nicholas Jackson is an 80 million pound footballer. But it is what it is. Where am I from? I'm from England. Yeah, the Simons fee looks as though it's going to be less than 60 million. I mean, 60 million quid. You guys are still voting in the poll. So 70 million euros is around 60 million pounds. 67% of you are saying that you're happy with that. So like, how much less would it have to be for you to be happy with that? If you said no, what would the price be that you would want? What do you think? Let me know in the chat right now. What do you think Xavi Simons is worth? We need to offer Sterling to Fulham for about 15 million quid. What? And we just then expect Fulham to be like, yeah, sure, it's 300 grand a week, mate. Raheem Sterling is not worth those wages anymore. 50 to 60, 50 to 60 mil. Are we talking euros or pounds? Let's make this euros. Just because everyone else and all the journalists are talking in euros right now. So let's talk in euros. What's up with Armando Broja? His career has just stagnated, mate. Totally stagnated. A couple of injuries have really let him down. I feel for him, but I think he needs to move away from Chelsea to restart. All right, I'm seeing 70 million, 60 million. Obviously, I think we can all agree that we would rather... you said in your last video, Enzo Fernandez to Real Madrid. Nah, to be fair, this Fischer net flipping source is probably one of the worst sources in the world. But they love it. You know, Enzo Fernandez is now a £100 million player. Thank you very much, Mirzi, for becoming a GBFC member. Guys, honestly, this year we are going to go so hard on the streams. Like, this season, I'm going all in on the channel. What? No. It's funny that Enzo Fernandez apparently is just, what's it called? Unfollowed Noni Madueke. There's no way that this is true. Let me just get CFC Pice's tweets up again as he's right on that aggregation right now. So, guys, what do you think about this? Exclusive from Chris Wheeler. Chelsea made a late bid for Bryan Mbeumo before he joined Manchester United. Do we believe this in the slightest, by the way? I don't believe that whatsoever. Like, what do we think? There's no way that happened, because why would Chelsea all of a sudden, after letting Man United spend weeks and weeks and weeks negotiating for Mbeumo, I don't believe this at all. I'm purely putting it up on the screen so that I can see what you guys have to say about it, because to me, I've never seen anything more useless in my life. If this ends up coming around to being true, then I will be very confused. Because if we're going to spend that much money, I think we should have gone straight in for Morgan Rogers, personally. But it is what it is. Man, I'm so excited for this season. Bloody hell. Fabrizio didn't say anything. No, he didn't. George Benson, football. Chelsea sign Simons or Rodgers. I mean, I've gone through this in a lot of detail on the channel. If you watch the video I posted first thing this morning. So if you guys aren't quite aware yet of the upload schedule, the schedule is usually between 7 and 7:30 or between 7 and 7:45 in the morning. I try and do it a bit later on the weekends, because who the bloody hell wakes up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday and thinks about watching me? But between 7 and 7:30, we upload the first video of the day. And then around 1 to 3 p.m., we upload the second one. And today I was just like, Enzo did not unfollow Noni. Okay, people are just chatting nonsense then. I should check things before I read them out. But yeah, today I was just like, there's just too much going on here. So I think it's quite exciting. I really do. Any further reports on a front of shirt sponsor? No, the latest with that is that Chelsea is speaking to between 7 and 10 companies. I'm going to just throw this out there right now. What about Red Bull for a front of shirt sponsor? Am I doing FPL? Yes, I will be doing FPL this season. And we'll be talking about it a lot on more GBFC. People saying no to Red Bull. No, I'd like Samsung. Emirates would be great again. Qatar Airways. GBFC FPL League this season. I'm going to make one, because I feel as though we'd actually have a huge league this year. Like the amount of people that are tuning into GBFC on a daily basis right now is pretty wild. So I do think we'd have a big GBFC league, that's for sure. So yeah, I think we're all calling complete bullshit on this story about what's his name, Bryan Mbeumo, late bid from Chelsea. I think that is complete and utter farcical nonsense. These journalists are flipping working overtime today, you know. Still the last thing. Oh, it's a repost from Fabrizio, not a pin. All right, let me read the chat for a little bit, see what you guys are saying now. Yeah, Fabrizio just dropped a video saying that Xavi Simons is keen on the Chelsea project. Qatar Airways 100%. What is the first pre-season game? So apparently Chelsea are, well, obviously they're playing 2 matches for the Visit Malta weekender. We're playing 2 matches at Stamford Bridge on the 8th and 10th of August against, I think it's Bayer Leverkusen, the second one, and Inter Milan, or is it? I keep checking and then I keep forgetting if it's Inter or AC. And then they'll probably play some behind closed doors friendlies that we probably won't get to see because they're behind closed doors. Yeah. AC, okay. For some reason, I was convinced it was Inter. That just shows how much attention I've been paying to it. Romano said the price will be lower than 70 million. I mean, that's great. Show us your jersey collection. To be fair, my football kit collection's not actually that strong, to be honest. I didn't buy one for a very long time because I lived in Asia. And to be fair, I got sent a couple of things from the Chelsea Megastore and they never arrived to me, which is nice and convenient. It's a Bali thing. You send things to Bali and then somehow somebody else is wearing it. Yep, Victor Osimhen's gone to Galatasaray. That is well and truly done. Although, look, I'll be honest with you. There'll definitely be stories, even probably next summer, about Osimhen. Not to Chelsea, I don't think, but to somewhere. That guy is just always going to be in the news, isn't he? When is Estevao getting announced to the media? I mean, look, at the minute, Chelsea have just been riding the wave of being champions of the flipping world, mate. I don't think they're going to be in a rush. And I think that's actually the best way for it. Because the thing with Estevao, right, and I'm also guilty of this too, there's so much hype and expectation on his shoulders purely because he is the next big thing out of Brazil. He's the next Neymar, all of this stuff. Or Messinho, as he was rumoured and named as many moons ago. So I think Estevao's going to kill it. I'm not going to lie. I'm so excited for him. I think he's going to be absolutely brilliant for Chelsea. The new Chelsea kit, check the links in the description. Brazil fans think Estevao will flop. How many have you spoken to? Probably like one geezer. Now, to be fair, I can tell you firsthand, I met probably like 50 or 60 Palmeiras fans who literally told me the complete opposite. They literally told me this kid is special. And that's coming from Brazil, right? Brazilians have had some of the greatest footballers who have ever lived. So when I hear from Brazilians who support the team that he's leaving, it's very easy when a player's leaving your club, even in these kind of circumstances where he's clearly a golden boy destined for Europe. When you hear that, you know that they're not messing about. But of course, since the whole Chelsea thing and the sooner it got to this move for him, I'm not surprised in the slightest that his form dipped. We did smash 3 Brazilian clubs. To be fair, I'm so happy we played the Brazilian teams because the atmosphere at all of those games was fantastic. Am I going to any games in the UK this season? I'm hoping to go to the Palace game on the first game of the season. And then after that, I'm going to be moving house, moving countries again. So I probably won't be back until Christmas time. But we'll see. I trust Peter Sanchez. Good old Peter Sanchez, mate. Great pal of mine he is. Who's bloody Peter Sanchez? Guys, I haven't actually asked. It's been 50 minutes and I've not said hit the like button on the stream yet. So you know what to do. Hit the bloody like button on the stream. I'm going to have a little look and scout and see if there's anything new that has appeared on the timeline. The Mbeumo news. I want to get rid of that forever. That is absolute nonsense. I've never seen something so stupid and foolish in my life. AC Milan are progressing in direct talks with Brighton for Pervis Estupinan. I wonder how much they offered him. £3. The good old Pervis. Up the Chelsea, mate. Of course, up the bloody Chelsea. I quite like doing these live streams, you know. It's a great little way to spend a little bit of time in the evenings. Xavi and Hato. I mean, look, I think it would be very nice to have an all-Dutch left side of the pitch. Not that we'd see that very often because Marc Cucurella is obviously going to be Chelsea's starting left back. Always. Yeah, I like the streams too. It's nice to get a live kind of feel for what you guys are thinking about stuff too because, yeah, I love this channel. I smash that like button no matter what you post. Thank you, Tobias Lundqvist. Appreciate it. Kit sponsors, we spoke about that a little while ago. When are we signing a new goalkeeper? I don't know if we are. I think this is one of those where we've got other priorities right now. And to be fair to Sanchez, if ever he was going to play his way into proving a point, I think he did that. Not that I'm still not sold and convinced. Let me just make this very clear. And Peter Sanchez, best goalkeeper. I think we should just call him Peter Sanchez now. Did my Club World Cup final change my mind about him? No, but it's given me faith that he can improve, which, to be honest, with a goalkeeper, I'm like, unless you're 19, 20, are you going to improve? And Sanchez is still obviously not old. Goalkeepers can peak in their 30s. But I absolutely am willing to give him another chance. But it's one of those where I've had so many moments with Peter Sanchez, we're going to call him now. I've had so many, oh, I see what you're doing. You mean Peter Sanchez. That one went straight over me flipping bonds, mate. We're just going to call him Robert Sanchez again. We're going to get rid of all this Peter nonsense because it's Petter, not Peter. But I see what you were trying to do. But we need Maignan. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. If we do sign Mike Maignan now, yes. But I think Sanchez has probably done enough in the eyes of the club right now. Do I think Xavi Simons can play Enzo Fernandez's position in our system? I'm going to say no. I think Sanchez, if anyone's going to do that role, I think Andre Santos would come in that position. I think what people are forgetting about this with Xavi Simons is that what we're going to have a lot of options now when it comes to players that can play on the wing and in the 10. Let me actually go and get up the tactics board a little bit here because we can start actually going through a few things. Let me check that, make sure we're in the right place. So let's do the text and let's put the big Sanch in goal. There he is. Cucurella. So this is what I think we could see with Xavi Simons. And we're going to go through it now. And then once I've wrote the players out, you guys can have your say. But this is obviously quite similar to what we have seen from Chelsea in build-up over the course of the Club World Cup. Caicedo there. And this is what I'd like to see anyway. Enzo here, but then he's probably going to be a bit more advanced there, joining the attack. This is the tricky bit. This is very much the tricky bit, but let's get Neto out here on the right. So then we've got 4 different players here, and I want to... See, this is where it gets tough. This is where it gets really tough, because Cole Palmer's obviously got to be out there, and I think he's obviously got to be there. Can you do this? Because Xavi Simons does quite a good amount of defensive work. Is this possible? Let me know what you think about this. Because what you've got here, especially with Pedro Neto, is somebody who's absolutely willing and raring to go in the defensive phase. What do you guys think about that? That's not got Reece James in the team, I know. But then you could also go here. Hang on. Let's move Pedro there. Put Enzo here. Move Caicedo there. And James here. But then also, I don't want to take Joao Pedro out. So maybe we do this. That is a bit more balanced, isn't it? What do we say to that? Thank you very much, Very Thick Hog, for coming back in with the donations. The more I think about it, I think Garnacho wouldn't be a terrible signing. We could probably get him cheaper than his market value. He's obviously a good player, just out of form for a long time. Appreciate the donation, mate. Much appreciated, pal. What do we think about this? No James already an L. No, to be fair, that was completely me being a silly Billy. This formation smacks a Sunderland low block 5-0. See, that's the kind of comment I wanted to see, you know. That's what I want from this season. Like, I want to actually get excited about watching us against low box again. It might not be easy. Okay, Alicia or Elsha is desperate for Estevao to be in there, but like I don't think Estevao is possible in this system, to be honest, because I think what we need is a little bit more balance defensively, and I think what you've got here is something quite similar to what we saw in build-up for Chelsea in the final. Reece James in this position as an anchor is fantastic, but also I'm going to just circle this right here because I think this is very important. This area of the field for Chelsea, having Reece James and Caicedo in there, Caicedo's the ball winner and Reece James is absolutely that anchor player that can see a pass, that can turn, offload it to Chalobah. Chalobah can find Neto and then bang. And I think that is what this team does so well, potentially. With these two here particularly, I think Caicedo and James do brilliantly. And then with Enzo, he can drop in here. And then we can also see this, which is what I spoke about in my video earlier. And I think these rotations would be really good for Chelsea to see Simons come in. And then Enzo kind of occupies this space here. Oh, thank you. I think it might have to go in underneath there.
I've got the whole shebang here.
Yeah. Let me plug that in.
What can I take out?
Is there anything in there?
Left in there?
I don't know. Yeah, there is, but it's not going to reach. Do I play Chalobah over Tosin? Honestly, those two right now, it's a 50-50. Yeah, that's working perfect. Thank you.
No worries.
Thanks, darling.
Okay.
Love you too. Enzo can't run. I mean, I think this myth is kind of a bit dead. Like, he's not the quickest, but he certainly does run a lot. No, not Maresca. He also used to be able to run a lot too. Oh, I don't know what we're drawing here. What are we saying about this lineup, guys? What are we saying? Or maybe this works better with the lap. I don't know. Let's leave Xavi. We have Gittins. Gusto. I think with Gusto, that's where we have something a little bit different. Let me just quickly change this up a little bit. Yeah, Malo Gusto is obviously a very key player for Chelsea if we're playing with that system where he gets forward. Let me try a system here with Malo Gusto in it. Because I think then you have to change things slightly. One sec. One second, mate. Enough of attackers. We need a centre-back. Do we, though? Like, do we actually need to sign another centre-back? I'm not convinced that we do, you know. So, this is something else that I want to talk about a little bit here because this is very exciting too. Oh. Right. What do we think to this lineup? Oh, it's not showing. Hang on. Oh, it's the wrong flipping thing again. 2 secs. There we go. Sorry about that. What do we think to that? Do I think Estevao replaces Neto in the 11 by December? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie. I think Neto... I need to stop saying that phrase too. I think Neto is going to explode again this season. I really do. I think Pedro Neto is going to be one of our top players this season. I think he's just got the bit between his teeth, you know. I think he works so hard. I think he's settled in at Chelsea. I think as much as he didn't contribute as many goals and assists last season as maybe we'd have liked, his work rate is undeniably important. And I think you've got to have that, right? If you want to have these Maverick-esque kind of players like Cole Palmer, Xavi Simons, João Pedro, if you want to have all of these players that can make something happen out of nothing, that are willing to occupy those central areas, but do it in a way where they're always constantly rotating. Like, this is the kind of lineup that you would play, in my opinion, against the big boys. Like, this Chelsea team here is what you'd go for to beat Liverpool, because you've got that solidity in the middle. You've got Reece James that can step up, make a pass, and you've got Malo Gusto's industry and ability to make those forward runs, but also the movement from Gusto is so important because it enables Cole Palmer to kind of drift over here a little bit. And then you've got these rotations. If Pedro's dropping in, you can have Xavi Simons moving forward. Let me see if I can select those two and like group them together kind of thing. Does that work? And then if I go Bosch. No, okay. That didn't work. Ah, well. Yeah, what are we saying about that? What do I think of Mark Gurhey? Again, very, very solid player. But I'm very happy with Tosin and Chalobah in that position. Ten players. No, that's definitely 11, mate. Against which team do we feel we should start to lap over Pedro and the opposite? It's tricky. I think João Pedro potentially against the bigger teams. And I think Liam Delap against the teams that are just going to sit back a little bit more. And I think if that would be the case, then I think you probably don't start Simons in that game. I think you would start João Pedro there. But this is the great thing about what Chelsea are doing with the players that we're bringing in, because Maresca has wanted these versatile players, right? He wants those players that can be interchangeable in different positions. And there's so many. If we sign Xavi Simons, right, there's so many options here. Honestly, I'm so excited for this season. I think we're gonna do well. Can I put side by side the backup that we have for each player? Okay, we can do that. Let's have a look then. So if let's just put it as a traditional 4-2-3-1. Blimey, can't get my words out here. Because that could also be Trevor Chalobah there. So if we move everything into like a 4-2-3-1, and then we can do the backup options, of course, just to show the depth in the squad here. And then Neto can go up here. And then stick Palmer on the right. Let's just say, for example, Xavi Simons here. And João Pedro is Chelsea's number 9 there. So this is also an important position. Let me just quickly check what you guys are saying in the chat right now. Make the second squad. Palmer on the right and Simons down the middle. I genuinely can see this happening, you know. People are saying, what you're saying, you're crazy if you think Simons will be starting over Gittins. But this is what I mean. I think we can... It depends on which side Chelsea see themselves attacking on with width. And it depends exactly on the opposition, because some teams are clearly stronger down the left and some teams are clearly stronger down the right. Why James a centre-back? Because that's the position he's going to sit in when Chelsea are on the ball. But let's actually just look at the squad depth by putting players in their actual positions here, because all in all, Reece James is still my first choice in that position. But if we go with what we have right now, I'm going to say Chalobah is my first choice right centre-back. And then Tosin is my second choice. And then you can also put Wesley Fofana in there as well. And then you've got Badiashile as a left-sided centre-half. So he goes in there. Left back, should we put Joel Hatto for now? Let's just say we sign Joel Hatto, hoping that we do. I think Santos is directly competing there with Enzo Fernandez. Sugo is in there, and then I'm just going to put Lavia kind of in the middle here, because I think Lavia can do both of those. We've got a squad, man. Like, we actually do have a very, very good squad. I've not even got into the attackers yet. Wesley Fofana, bro, like, he could quite easily, Wesley Fofana, could come back in and displace both Chalobah and Tosin. Very doable. Josh Atchampong as well, man. This is crazy, because Atchampong could be here, or he could be in the middle, or he could be at left back. And that is the great thing about Josh, is he can play in any of these positions across the back line, which is huge for Chelsea. So now if we move into this, I'm going to put Palmer in the middle here because I think that is realistic. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall is also a player that can kind of do anything, really. So we're just going to put him here. I'm going to give Lavia like a blue dot here, and also Dewsbury-Hall. I love Dewsbury-Hall, by the way. Like, I really, really like Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. I'm going to put Neto over there. Simons can go over there now too. I know I've not spelled Estevao correctly with the right thingies, but I can't do it on this app for whatever reason. Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mark Guiu up top 2. Who am I missing? I'm definitely missing somebody here, aren't I? Jackson I'm missing. Yeah, I just don't think Jackson's going to stay, mate. Don't know if you remember me. I was the 17-year-old kid that you met in Philly. Thanks for the YouTube advice. And up the Chelsea, mate. There was a couple of times in Philly where I'd had a couple of beers, mate. So I hope I was all right with that advice there. Tyreek George, yes. And Nkunku. I think Nkunku's gone, mate, to be honest. I think we're going to have to just assume that for now. And then Tyreek George can play on both wings too. The question with Tyreek George is, does he want to stay and probably only play in the Carabao Cup games? I wouldn't if it was me. So this is literally the team. What app am I using? This is a website, I believe, that is called tacticalboard.com, and it costs about, I think, $6 a month or something, which is really good value. Evil Saka. He'd go on loan for sure. I think he should do. A Premier League loan would be great for him. It's just, where's he going to play? Yeah, backup goalkeeper. Jorgensen. So, like, this is the depth that we've got in the team right now. And how many players is this? 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. But there's enough under 21s there that could be easily Chelsea squad for the season. What do we think? Are we happy with that? Also missing Bergstrom now. I'm not putting Bergstrom in, mate. Sorry. He could end up being Chelsea's number 3, but Jackson ain't leaving. I don't know, man. I think he's gone. I think if a bid comes in, a good bid comes in, I would be very interested to see what we would say if a £70 million bid or something would have come in for Nicholas Jackson, you know. But for me, that is a really solid squad. I need to double check what the ruling is about squad size. But I'm pretty sure because we've got so many young players, it's fine. $75 million maximum offer. I'd be very surprised if anybody offers us that for Nicholas Jackson. I'm not going to lie. Next year, Quenda. Mate, honestly, it's mad. It's mad. We've got to also think about that too. But this is why Tyreek George needs a loan. Because when Giovanni Quenda comes in next season, he's probably, unless he has a Give me a second. Mike's gone. Okay. I'm trying to fix it. It's because I've got this stupid little... I'm trying to fix it. Back. I'm trying to fix it. What happened to the mic? I hope I've not broken it. Can you hear me? It's good now. So this microphone's working now. Yo. Hello. Does it sound right? Okay. You can hear, but the mic's broken. Is it the normal sound quality? It's not the same mic. Why has this happened? You should just get an XLR cable and use an interface. Nah, for real. When I finally get another studio again, soon, sounds okay. Yeah, okay, for whatever reason, it's not letting me reconnect this. Loud and clear, it's the same mic. It's good now. Really? This is so annoying. Let me see. Does this get louder when I get closer to this? Tinny. Yeah. Okay, it's definitely not the right mic. Why? Oh, this is so annoying. Yeah, for whatever reason, the mic is now not showing back up again in Streamlabs. Okay, I'm going to keep trying to fix it for a sec because I don't spend this money on these flipping equipment for it to just not work. Mic is loud and clear. Okay. How about that? That should be better. Or is that coming out twice? I can hear you clearly. It's not plugged in correctly. I mean, I've literally just got this micro. Okay, now it should be better. It should be much better now. It has an echo still. Fixed. Okay, this should be fixed. Okay, great. Nice, 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 nice. All right. We did it. We did it. XLR cable and focus light scarlet. Sort you right out. Okay, cool. I'm going to write this down right now, actually, because I've been meaning to do this for a long time. And I don't want any of this faff when the season starts, because you just lose viewers when that happens. XLR cable and focus right. What is a focus right scarlet? What is that? I've made the note now. Let's go back to the old. Let's go back to this. Tactical board. Here we go. Big up. Cool. All right, it's good. Audio interface and XLR cable. Yeah, no, for sure. Mr. Super Chat, let me see and scroll up now. Yes, Very Thick Hog is back at it again. When are you planning Prem prediction video? I mean, there's just so much transfer news going on right now, isn't there? Like, I want to see how many players Liverpool buy, which obviously, you know, I'm just gonna put this as a little side note for a second. How flipping annoying is it that all of the major flipping news outlets only want to talk about the fixed fees that Liverpool pay and don't want to quote the entirety of the transfer fee? But if it's Chelsea, like for Gittins, for example, straight in there with the full fee. Anything with add-ons is like the full amount. But for Liverpool, it is the base rate and then all the add-ons don't count. Like, it's actually a joke the way that the reporting is done. Thank you, Mo Flygerian. Finish the window with only Hato and Simons. Is it good? Do you know what? Like, I still think the new goalkeeper is necessary, but yeah, I think that I might do a video where I do Prem predictions before the transfer window is finished. But let's wait and see. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap the stream up a little bit now. I want to say a big thank you to all of you that have tuned in. We've kind of explored a little bit today with this, going through the Chelsea squad again. I am very, very excited for Xavi Simons. I would love it if we signed him. Thank you again for all of the super chats that have come in on the stream. Thank you to the new member that joined as well. Mo Flygerian again, thank you for the £2. Coutinho money, bro, doesn't count. Yeah, good point. We're going to be living off that forever, aren't we? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. There will be a video out at 7 a.m. UK time, and it's going to be a big one. We're going to go through everything that has happened. Make sure you check out the 2 videos from earlier today as well. And yeah, if you do want to buy the new Chelsea kit or anything from the Mega Store, link is in the description. Use the discount code GBFC10. Going to wrap this one up now, and I'm going to be posting on more GBFC later on today. So tons of content that came out today. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in a wee bit. I'm gonna literally order that XLR cable now too, by the way.